Okay, so I'm going to do problem one, example one. So I would encourage everybody to follow along with this. It's been a little while since we did this. This is back from the very beginning of the unit. So I really pay attention to what we're doing. I'm going to talk loudly so hopefully you guys can hear me. Um, After you do this problem, then you should try the next one on your own and then see if you got it correct on the key. So this says Elliot measures the position and time of a skateboard rolling down a hill. He obtains the data shown in the table. So I know that I'm going to have to look to this table here. Okay. Um, and then it says draw a graph of the skateboard's position versus time. Remember to label and scale your axes properly. Include units, plot the points, and draw the best fit line through the data points. Um, so let's just go and see what it asks for. So it says that I need to label and scale my axes properly. So that's a really great place to start. So when I look at my graph here, and then I look at what I have to fit on my graph. So let's deal with the bottom line here first. Now, remember this says it's position versus time. So I know that time always goes down here. So I'm going to put t, and then remember we always have to put what unit we're going to use. So we're going to put seconds there. Um, Now I counted this beforehand, and there's 22 lines here. I also know that the biggest number I need to put on here is going to be 7. So I need to fit 7 seconds on a 22 line. So I think that if I skip every third line, that'll work out just about right. Basically, 22 divided by 7 is a little bit more than 3. So I think 3 lines per number will work. So I'm going to start off with 0. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Okay, so that's a really good way to label this thing. Now I got to label my other axis. And we know that's going to be position. Remember that position is x, so I'm going to put x. And then let's just make sure, yep, it says positions in meters. So I'm going to put x, and then I'm going to put meters, like that. Okay, now I counted this, and there's 20 lines. Now I know that I need to fit 29.4 onto this thing. So I need to go up to around 30. There's 20 lines. I think that if I count by twos, that should work out okay. Now if I start going 2, 4, 6, it's going to get jumbled up really fast. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to skip every other line and count by fours, which means each individual line is still worth 2. I'm just not jumbling it up. So I'm going to go 4, 8. Now notice it's the same thing as going 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm just leaving every other one out. Okay. So I'm going to go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and the very top is going to be 40. All right, great. So that's the stuff that I highlighted. Label and scale the axes properly. Now it says, oh, and include units. I did that because I got meters and seconds on there. Now it says plot the points. This is the easy part, guys, okay? So I know I'm going to start off at 0, 0. So I'll mark that off and go 0, 0. Okay, now I've got to go 1 and 0.6. All right, so and 0.6, that's going to be really, really low, something like that. Okay, so there's 1.6. Now 2 and 2.4. So 2 and a little bit above that line. 2 and 2.4. All right, now 3 and 5.4. All right, so 3 and 5.4. There we go. Now 4 and 9.6. 4 and then just a smidge below the 10 line. There we go. All right, now 5 and 15. So there's 5. I'm going to follow it all the way up to, let's see, just halfway. 5 and 15, nice. Now 6 and 21.6. So 6, I follow it up. 21.6. Oh, right about there. And then 7 and 29.4. So 7 and then just a smidge below 30. So right about there. All right, good. All right, good. So I labeled, I scaled, I did units, I plotted the points. All right, now it wants me to draw the best fit line. All right, now last unit, a best fit line would have been straight. Now in this unit, a best fit line is not going to be straight. These things are clearly curving, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my best fit line to follow the curve. So I should have a nice curved line. I don't want a straight line because I know that I'm accelerating. I'm not increasing by the same amount every time. My velocity here is increasing. Okay, so now it wants me to calculate the velocity where t equals 6. And it wants to show the calculation in detail. Okay, so remember back, we had a number of steps for this, okay? So we're going to start off at 6, and I'm going to go one step up and one step down in each direction. Remember that my steps have to be equal distances. So I'm going to go down to 5, up to 7. Make this easy on yourselves, guys, because 5 and 7 we've got over here on the table, so it's going to take the guesswork out of figuring out where my points are at. So for 5, what I'm going to do, I'll make this orange. I'm going to go up to the line, and I'm going to go over to here. All right, now we're going to call that TI and XI. Now, if we look over here, I can also see, let's erase this stuff, okay. I can also see that 5 is my TI and 15 is my XI. Nice, and look, that's right about at 15, good. All right, now and let's do purple. Now for 7, I'm going to go up to the line. I'm going to go all the way over there, and now I've got my T. Oh man, that looks terrible. Let's erase that and do it again. Okay, so I've got my TF, and I've got my XF. Now again, instead of guessing where that's at, I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to see that 7's my TF, and now my XF is 29.4. Okay, so now I'm going to put all this together because we want velocity. So velocity is going to be equal to XF minus XI divided by TF minus TI. Now, my XF, I can see that right here, is 29.4. And my XI, we see that right there, is 15. All right, my TF is 7. And my TI is 5. All right, so when I go to calculate this stuff, I've got my calculator next to me. Sorry you guys can't see it. I go 29.4 minus 15, and that is going to be 14.4 divided by, and 7 minus 5 is 2. So I divide 14.4 by 2, and I'm going to get 7.2. Now, don't forget your unit on this thing. Don't forget your unit. Don't forget your unit. 7.2, that was 14.4 meters in 2 seconds. So my unit is meters per second. 7.2 meters per second is my velocity when time equals 6. It's really important that we see that 6 is in the middle of my time interval. It's halfway between 5 and 7. I got to go the same distance up as I go down. All right, that's page 1. Now you guys need to try example 2. All right, so that's this one here, problem 1, example 2. Try that on your own and then check the key.